everyone. Welcome to the Dance Diaries. I'm Carol.
And I'm Kim. Welcome, everyone.
We're here today on our Sunday morning chat.
I love it, right? So relaxed, and we're wearing our comfy Adidas warm-up suits on our Sunday morning chat. Just love it.
We've done a lot of this, but in the last few months, we've been busy interviewing a lot of guests. We're so happy to come back and just sort of regroup.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And have some relaxing time. Just talking about what's on our mind, everything from did we actually do what we wanted to do with our dance diary?
Right.
We did a recap of all the competitions that we've been to in the last little while.
4 to be exact.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, guys? We're 15 podcasts in.
Oh, my God.
Holy God.
We're 15
15.
in?
We have over 4,000 viewers on YouTube, guys.
See that?
Amazing.
Yes, everything. So let's start with goals.
Sounds good. So I don't know. I mean, here's what I didn't do, and I've got to go back to do it. We talk about a dance diary. Well, a dance diary is write it down.
Correct.
So I've verbalized what my goals are. I believe that I'm sticking to that. I've wavered a little bit with the American Smooth. I'm doing show dance stuff right now. Mm-hmm. So laser focused on the show dance.
Which you love, by the way.
Oh, yes.
This is your thing.
Mm-hmm. However, it took a little bit inside of there to make sure that when I go to my lessons, I'm not just doing the show dance and I'm practicing some of my American Smooth.
Right.
And every time I do, I'm like, oh, yeah, yes. I should be doing that.
Yeah.
But
so did you finally decide, because I know you were wavering, whether to be smooth?
I am, but I think because I only go once a week, it's tough, Yeah. Remember I told you I'm being disciplined. There's disciplined and only so much time to practice stuff.
That's right.
So I try to make sure, if I'm in for a lesson, and now that I've mastered the choreography, for my upcoming showcase, I can work on more of the sort of cosmetic appeal of the showcase and
styling.
the whole feeling, the styling. Mm-hmm. But inside my lesson, now I'm incorporating more smooth. How about you?
So my goals were to have my opens.
Yeah.
My two. I have 3 opens: rumba, cha-cha, swing. I need bolero and mambo, and we do have the bolero so far.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yep. And beginning to end. Now we're just doing the same, working on the styling. Because we have the choreography down and everything. Yeah. And we are going to begin to choreograph the mambo now. So looking forward.
I can't wait to see that.
Yep.
Open mambo, if it's really cool, is an amazing end to the American rhythm suite of open routines.
Yes.
So I wish you top-notch luck on that. That'd be good.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. And so yes, I feel like I am keeping in line with what we talked about in the beginning of the year, what my personal goals were going to be. So yeah.
And I am too. I think the only thing that I struggle with is how far out one of my competitions might be. So I think in all reality, given, we all have professional lives as well, I would say that the June, July timeframe for me is, and given how much I have to learn with some of the routines. So even though I have the closed goal routines down, they've changed. So I have to learn the new choreography to the closed routines, and it's going to take some time between now and July and June to pick that up. So I figured either the Manhattan DanceSport, which is sort of end of June, beginning of July, and the DBDC, which is in Boston, which I really want to go. That's at the, I think, end of July in Boston. So I'd love to do my smooth there and maybe a nightclub.
Yeah. So that's my time frame too.
Cool.
June, July.
Are you going to go anywhere, a destination comps?
Probably Las Vegas. And that's at the end of July. Yeah.
I have to say, the Fred Astaire Dance Studios does an amazing job with their world
with
competition.
the world events.
Yeah.
And the nationals.
I've been to it, both nationals and the worlds at the time, and they really put on, there's an amazing amount of competitors. So I think if one of your goals is to really get out there with a lot of people, that's a perfect spot for you. Somebody asked me the other day, I went to a comp and I just wasn't feeling the buzz. What are you looking for when you go to one of these comps as part of your dance diary goals, right?
And let's talk about that, because you and I have gone to, since the end of last year to today, 4 different comps.
Yes. God, yes.
Right?
So The first one we went to, you and I, was Constitution.
Yes.
I think it was back in October of last year.
Yeah.
I really love Constitution.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, talk about the buzz. I love the ambiance of Constitution. The location in Stamford, Connecticut is perfect.
Yep.
Perfect location, perfect parking. I know it sounds weird, but
Yeah, but no, all
like
these things matter. Yeah.
accessibility to get to it. And when you get in the dance floor area, you're no sooner through the door and you feel the total vibe. I find it's got such a sophisticated look. The lighting is amazing.
Yep.
The energy, when you look at the coloring and all of that in the room, really reflects all of the way that everybody's dressed and made up for the dancing. And there's just something about
Just brings it to a
Constitution.
different level.
And I think also the way that they stage, they have, of course, show dances and everything else, but they really blend in all of the different comp activity. And I think we went to see Nightclub as well there.
Yes, we did.
The return on that for one of our friends was really big in terms of some winnings and things. So there's some really good benefits. But I find the way they decorate the room, the buzz and the
Beautiful.
energy, everybody seems happy. They've got, I don't know, it just seems sophisticated to me.
Yeah.
The next one after that we've been to was Kingsball.
That's right.
I think that's a favorite for both of us. Don't
Love
you?
Kingsball. Love Kingsball. I don't know. Again, it's the vibe. I think the organization of that particular competition, the way they do it, everything about it. The coloring. I love the King's chair.
The King's chair. We're gonna
get our. I mean, yeah. How many of those do we have? Right.
I did, and I have the best pictures of that because of that. You sit down and you feel really cool. The thing with Kingsball is they make it feel very intimate.
Intimate, yes.
And I find that to be really appealing, even though when you say intimate does not equal small competition.
Correct.
Right? And I think the caliber of dancing is really high. It's also probably the last competition of the calendar year.
Yes.
So people are trying to close out some of their dancing.
Yep.
They have best of the best.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to be in a category that if you were to win first place in best of the best, you would represent the comp in Ohio Star Ball to be able to go and compete at Ohio Star Ball, but be representative of that comp. So I like that. And I actually look for comps that have that as well, because it's another element of competitor opportunity and challenge, right?
A perk.
Yeah,
or an incentive.
It is.
Yeah, love that.
And they have other similar things, but the best of the best is a big one.
Yep.
What else did you like about Kingsball?
I think you went over everything. I think the energy mostly is always with Kingsball. I just feel like we just talked about, we walk into that ballroom and it's buzzing with energy and everybody is just really into the dancing and just wanting to see what's going on that dance floor.
Yeah. When we were there, so we not only did we go watch it, but we went in the evening where they had, I think, the World Latin Championship, if I said that right. Oh my goodness.
Right?
I mean, first of all, we saw Donnie Burns. I was and you're like, I remember it, but I'm like, this room is filled with big time dancers that were there. It had Ricardo
was there. Yep.
Julia. I mean,
I nearly died.
Well, exactly, right? But I think they were all there because it was the World Latin Championship. And so we saw a caliber of dancing that was beyond, not at all what I was expecting.
It was incredible.
Talk about the buzz. I remember we did a live feed for our dance diaries and we had that buzzing on Instagram. When we looked at the samba, it was the World Show Dance Competition as well.
It was incredible, yep.
The Paso Dobles that we saw there. I know, maybe not your fave, but the way it was presented was out of this world. Anything cabaret style, it was, lifts, costuming, character. I mean, everything that I love about show dance all was there. Packaged up.
All there. Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, and I think for the competitors also, because it was end of calendar year, they put everything into it. And I will tell you, when the winners of the World Show Dance won, I've never seen such, they were so happy to win. You could tell they had invested so much time over the course of the year to arrive at that, and you could feel the emotion in the room. That was so authentic and real.
It was incredible. That was very incredible. Then move on, fast forward 2024,
Yeah.
we go to New York Dance Festival.
Yes,
So we were at New York Dance Festival last year too,
we did.
and then this year. Let's do a comparison if you can.
So last year I went in. No, I went 2 years ago because I was away last year. I think
That
you
was
were
2
there.
years.
Yeah, for me, I went 2 years ago, and I went in to see my friend Jen do nightclub.
Yep.
From that time that I went to visit to this one, you were there twice.
Yes.
This year, I only went once. Boy, one thing that didn't change is that place is jammed.
Yeah.
I mean, jammed with people, good and bad. Okay, like it's standing room only for most of it. So unless you buy a ticket ahead of time and have a table that you're going to sit at or a front row seat, there's very little spectator room.
Yep.
But that's probably part of the appeal, right? Because it's all about the dancing and not so much about the spectator.
Yep.
But I would say that, boy, were there a lot of people.
Lots of people, lots of competitors. That I took a video of the dance floor.
Right.
It was Latin Championship.
Right.
The floor was packed. They were dancing into each other all over the place.
So when something's packed like that, what do you notice the professionals do to really keep it together? Like, I mean, how do you think they can perform under those circumstances with that many people?
They stay focused. They keep it compact as much as possible. They do not let no other couple can distract them. That's the one thing that I notice, because I know when I'm on the dance floor, I have a tendency to let myself get distracted. So if I feel like I'm going to run into someone, all of a sudden I'm looking in that direction, it's wrong. You know, I'm not a pro, but the pros have, especially the pros, have the ability to just, it amazes me. They could be dancing on top of each other, but they're still dancing in their own space and not even caring, you know.
Well, that was the first thing I noticed. So dancing compact. If I look at professional dancing, that is the first thing I noticed on anybody who is like top level pro, how much they can get all of their choreography out, but keep it tight.
Yep. Tight.
So you think of all the other things they're doing to attract our attention in a compact dance. I'm thinking that's what I was noticing at the New York Dance Festival, on top of obviously costuming and some really amazing, some fantastic costuming. But I would say the way they compact dance, so facial reactions, audience connection.
I was just going to say that's the one thing I always notice at New York Dance Festival, especially, is the connection they make with the spectators, with us, with the audience.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's how the ballroom is set up, or
just arrive like a big swarm amount of people that come out on the dance floor, but it's and it's full on focus.
Full on focus, and the energy. Talk about the energy.
Wow.
Like nothing else.
Like nothing else. And once it gets going, and when they present all these different dancers, even the one I noticed the most is the amateur dancers. Talk about, that's the difference between New York Dance Festival and some of the other comps, is because this is, hugely focused on amateur competitive dancing.
Yep.
There's amateurs that are not like amateurs like us. They're in the world amateur categories, and that's a big part of what New York Dance Festival does, along with the kids. Remember we were there that night?
Big, which I think is great. Upcoming generation of dancers.
Remember how you and we were looking at these young kids dancing?
Those little bitches.
They're so good.
They're so good. Just kidding. I love it.
But remember you and I were looking at two completely different things when they were dancing. We both called the same young lady and her male partner out to be the winner.
Yep.
But we both looked at different things.
I forget what I looked at.
International standard. I was looking at the footwork. You were looking at the costuming and the frame.
And the frame, yes.
I was
the big picture, and you were detailed.
Completely looking at the footwork. And I said, yeah, they're going to win. I'm just simply looking at the way that they are carrying their footwork across the floor.
And I was looking at the bigger picture of, that's right, the frame. She held her frame, that little one.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Their connection.
Like no other.
No other. And how old do you think they were? 12?
Yeah.
12. Like 12.
Yeah. Such good. But I think the point, though, is that this competition for New York Dance Festival really embodies the growth of young dancers to develop, that these young dancers see their mentors. they look around the room and they are so wrapped up with the opportunity of what their future looks like in ballroom dancing.
Yep.
And I just think that Eugene and Maria do a fabulous job at inspiring young dancers
Yeah.
to be that much better. And I love that they incorporate those young dancers into the evening showcases
Yep.
because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Growing that industry.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Incredible.
What else did we
Incredible.
see that night? What did we saw? Cabaret.
We saw cabaret.
Yeah. A little underwhelming, maybe.
Underwhelming is the word. I don't know why. Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe we've seen other cabaret pros dance that were not dancing that night. Is that possible?
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, up and coming. You know.
I love the music choices that the cabaret
Yes.
couples chose that night. I enjoyed the choreography, but I was missing lifts. Something
too.
about the cabaret. Is there not lifts in cabaret?
No, there are. I think,
Right.
and I don't know the real rules, but I think there are a certain number of lifts
Right.
that have to be in the cabaret performance in order for it to be categorized as a cabaret dance.
Okay, let's look back on that. I'll look at the rules
Yeah.
because there was just something about it. You and I were both like, are we watching cabaret or is this a show dance?
Exactly.
Cabaret. And
We felt more. It was really great dancing. Don't
Fabulous.
get us wrong. Amazing dancing.
Yeah.
But for the cabaret category, it was underwhelming because of the lack of spectacular lifts. That's all.
Right, because I thought they were great too.
Yeah,
I
amazing
think that we were
dancers.
just questioning: are we what category are we watching? I think it was
Exactly.
just that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then the latest one is the Fred Astaire Regional
Yes.
in New Jersey.
So
New venue.
I liked it. I mean, you and I talked a bit about the room is because during the day it's different when you're sometimes attending during the day than into the evening.
Yep.
A little bright in there for me, but I would say what caught my eye on the dancers, two things. Huge amount of amateur male dancers dancing.
Yes.
So proud.
And good.
Amazing. Like,
Amazing male amateurs.
yeah. I
lots
love
of
that.
them. Mhm.
And the first thing I told you was, look at the dresses out there, all
Yeah.
long sleeve.
I know. I didn't even notice that. And I was like, thank God, because my new rhythm dress is long sleeve.
Yeah. So those two things kind of stood out for me. But as the dancers continued on throughout the afternoon and we got more to like silver level and gold level, the quality of the dancing was really outstanding.
Yes. I thought the quality was really, really good. The competitors were really competitive.
Right.
Energy was good. I felt like I learned later it wasn't a smaller comp, but I felt like it was a smaller comp when we were in that room.
No, that was a big room, Kim. Lots of people.
yeah? Maybe that's
Okay,
what-
so for
yeah.
me, the difference when I've been to smaller comps, that room. Now, remember, I used to dance with Fred Astaire Dance Studios, so it brought me right back.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what I noticed looked bigger. And the buzz in the room for everybody is like individual tables, and everybody was
Yes.
like cheering on their own studios is what
Yep,
they were
yeah.
cheering on. And I was really impressed by how that continues on today. How everybody's like really super supportive of their own dancers. Their organizers are there, their owners of their studios, the managers and stuff. You can tell that they're there with their students. I would say that part I probably miss a little bit, but I think that I try to bring that energy on into the independent ones. Like when I see someone dancing who's so good, I'll go to that table. I'll go talk to that person. I'll
Yep.
talk to their instructor and say, what an amazing presentation.
Yep.
And I am not shy at all about making my way around the room, even if I don't know those people, because there's just something about dancing that should connect you.
I think that what stood out for me is that the pros are now feeling a lot more comfortable with their amateur dancers, and that there was a lot more animation in the amateur dancing this time around rather than step. I think
Let's talk about animation. That's a new word that we haven't used in our podcast. Can you break down for me what that means for you?
it's feeling the music, it's feeling your partner. It's your dancing is telling a story, and I think that once you get to a certain level, you begin to learn how to tell your story when you're dancing with your partner. And I think that there has to be a lot of trust between the pro and the amateur student to be able to display that on a competition dance floor.
I think for the most part, the what you're describing there, I did see that day. There was a few that maybe they weren't mature enough in their partnership yet. They didn't. But I also believe that at different levels, some of it, we will watch some bronze level dancing, I think, or close
Well, there's
silver.
a combination of, it was bronze and closed silver combination on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like where that was going. And where my buzz started going as a spectator is when I started to see the couples that were displaying more of that animation, more of the storytelling in their dancing, or at least they looked like they were so happy to be dancing together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what does that tell us in our dance diary? Like if I think of what I'm going to take back to the studio and say, you know, what did I just see there? Well, how do I display that when I go back and practice my dancing?
Right.
You know?
I think it goes back to confidence.
Yeah.
Goes back to confidence. I think it goes back to trusting yourself on the dance floor, trusting what your body can do. I think it goes back to repetition and impact, right? So once you have those, look, we know our combinations. We know them. They're in there.
Yeah, but we don't want to be a robot dancer.
The thing. So now we know them. We don't have to be a robot. That's where the energy comes. That's where the soul comes. That's where the storytelling comes, using your body more. It's not physical between you and your partner anymore. You're actually dancing together. And that's what's really, at those certain levels in the pro-am world, that's what really gets, you know, exciting and amazing to watch, you know.
And coming up, we're going to be at a few competitions coming up down the road. Our next one where we plan to go watch and do some interviewing will be at Tri-State competitions. So that'll be in Stamford, Connecticut.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be exciting. That's
Guys,
another.
If you know of anyone who you would like to recommend for an interview, please drop us a comment. Let us know, because we would love that.
We would love it.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get onto different topics that are more meaningful to all of you as well. So really looking forward to that competition. Drivers, we would love if you would subscribe and like.
Please, love it.
That would be
if you
great.
want to support our cause and keep us going, and to hear all the upcoming information and the new trends that are happening out there in the dance world, all the tips and tricks and of the trade.
Everything.
We're here to talk about all of those things, and we love it if you comment. Let us know what ideas you might have, what you'd like to see and hear from us, any suggestions that you have to help us improve our podcast. We are open to it all, guys. Just drop a comment.
We would love it. The best part is just you and me hanging out.
I love it.
Woohoo.
All right, partner.
All right, girl.
Have a great Sunday, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.